Hello, everyone. A big welcome to the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you're here live, please do say hello in the chat. It's always great to see who is listening, and you get the benefit of asking questions and engaging with other online teachers in real time. So we see Alzira, welcome from South Africa. Good to have you here. Facebook user, hello. If you want to authorize Facebook to show your name, you can go to facebook.com/StreamYard. And it's just a little click of a button to show your name so I can see who you are. We've got Colin, hello from Taiwan. Awesome. So it's late for you, probably 10 or 11 p.m. I'm in Bangkok, so it's 9 p.m. And I forgot all about daylight savings time this weekend. So I had originally scheduled this to be at the same time for me, which would have been an hour ahead for everybody else. So I kind of did a last minute time change. So I apologize if you do miss this live. But you've got questions about Holo, please do use the comment section when you do watch the replay. We would love to answer your questions and say hello to you. So who else do we have tuning in? Hi, Brooke. Good to have you. And David's here. Yes, you are here, David. Hello, everyone, and greetings from Canada. Good stuff. Wonder what the weather is like in Canada. Must be starting to warm up, I think. Vidya, good evening from Indonesia. Awesome. We've got a real crowd from all over the place. And Kinga, hello, hello. Tuning in from Poland. So yeah, great. So I'm so excited about this because I've been talking with Jamie at Holo for several months, and I really love what they've got going on over at Holo. And so I'm excited to bring them on to talk about what Holo is, how it might be a platform for you as an online teacher to investigate. You know, I always talk about how online teaching is so varied and there's so many options. You can work for companies, you can brand yourself on marketplaces like Holo, you can teach independently. There really is a lot of options for you. So this is just another option. And I really like the concept of it because it's very similar to live streaming. And I live stream every week on my YouTube channel. And so I put in the description of the video, it's kind of like a cross section of live streaming and teaching online. So we'll get into the details. We'll show you behind the scenes. We'll talk to some teachers who are actually teaching on Holo and answer your questions if you've got any. Hello, Leslie. Good to have you. Oh, Brooke, you're tuning in from, yes, Kansas. Okay, very, very cool. Awesome. So yeah, feel free to say hello in the chat and, chat to others. If you've got questions, again, we'll try to answer them. So without further ado, I'll invite Jamie up and we're going to give you a little run through of Holo. And although I know a little bit about it, I always learn something new when I talk to Jamie, and she's just a wonderful personality who really loves the company and is excited to share it with you. So are you ready, Jamie, down there? Awesome. Okay. Welcome, Jamie.
Yay. Thanks, Tim. So glad.
Yeah, so good to have you on finally.
Yay.
So I know where are you located right now?
I'm in Utah. So
you're in Utah. Okay. So it's kind of morning for you.
Yep. It's about 8 a.m. our time here. So
okay. I'd love for you to introduce yourself, and I asked you for your bio, but I forgot to read it off. So please do it and let us know your online teaching journey and what you do for Holo. That'd be great.
Yeah, for sure. And I actually was like, oh, easy. I just went to my profile page on Holo and I was like, I'll just copy and paste my bio and send that to Tim. So it's
awesome,
literally, it wasn't hard at all. So I've been teaching ESL online now for 5 years. I started obviously teaching children in China and love that. And I decided to try something new and just add teaching adults, and Holo came about and I was like, okay, this is fun, very new and different. And I was really nervous, but then fell in love with it. And there was an opportunity and I was able to come on with the Holo management team. And now I manage the teachers. And so it's been a really cool opportunity and challenging, but very fun and exciting. And so, yeah, that's kind of been the journey so far.
Very cool. So what's your job title?
I'm the teacher manager. Yep.
Teacher
community.
manager.
Yep. Teacher community.
Very official. I like it.
Yeah. And I'm just Jamie. So there you go.
Brooke is giving you some love. Hello, Jamie. Good to see you, friend.
Yes. Brooke is a fantastic friend. I know her from other communities within the ESL industry. So.
Yeah, it's kind of cool how, when you work, I don't know, a lot of us, especially on this channel, worked for companies like, did you say you worked for VIP Kid?
Yeah, VIP Kid.
Yeah. So, and now, that has been a springboard for so
Yeah.
many other cool opportunities for teachers to brand themselves and start their own teaching businesses
Mhm.
or kind of get their feet wet with a company like Holo. And I've talked about other marketplaces where you can start to, figure out what you really like about teaching, maybe try teaching adults,
Mhm.
maybe kind of niche down and focus on like a particular aspect of online teaching, which can really help you if you eventually want to kind of go out and do your own thing.
Yeah.
So, what does Holo provide for teachers, kind of in a nutshell? What's your elevator pitch
Yes.
for Holo?
Well, definitely Holo was, just kind of it was born with the idea of, like, Uber. It was like, "Man, if we could have something where, a student is like, 'Oh, I've got a question, I need someone right now,' they could just pick up Holo, their phone, because that's primarily where people are using Holo. It's an app, and they pick it up, and they can talk to friends all around the world, so we connect students to students, and we also connect them to teachers. And so it's
Okay.
really a powerful tool that they can just quickly get on. They can have English lessons any time of the day. And
Okay.
and right now our teacher community is growing, slowly but surely, and that means that we have classes going a lot more regularly, which is really awesome. And that's where they can get a lot more consistency. They get to speak with the native, and that's really a lot of times where the students are looking for that opportunity. So
Okay. So back up just a little bit. The student goes on and can pop into a teacher's
mhm.
class, essentially, like a live stream class, right?
Mhm. Yep, yep,
Yeah.
we have live classes, and these are sometimes they can be private or sometimes they are public. So the teacher gets to choose if they want it to be public or private.
Okay.
We also teachers can just do spontaneous live streams where they just wanna engage with the community, they wanna meet the students, and then they kinda direct them to their classes. So, that's those are the 2 ways that teachers kinda get involved with the community.
And how do teachers make money on Holo?
Well, it's through the classes for sure. So we have one-on-ones, and we also have our live classes. The live classes, like I said, can be public or private. And the student teachers get to set their own rates. So they'll, you know, it's almost like a subscription though. So you have to keep that in mind as a teacher. So a live class is like a month to month subscription for a student. So when
Okay.
they subscribe to you, they know they're getting X amount of time with you each week. And they're always recorded. So the students have those classes recorded if they can't show up for whatever reason, just like YouTube. Now, anyone that's wanting to know about Holo, they can come and watch this video later. That's like
Right.
how it is on Holo. So they can set their own prices. And then sometimes if I do a spontaneous live stream, um, we do allow students to hop on and talk with a teacher. They pay $2 to talk with the teacher. And then also students will sometimes give tips. You'll see that happen. They'll just send a tip to you and they're like, "Oh, you're so awesome. Thank you. Here's a little tip." Just
Yeah,
like
so it's really like, I mean, YouTube has that feature too. By the way, if you look in the chat box underneath there, there is a little dollar sign, but I don't even know if it's activated on my account, to be honest. But
if it is, test
people can
it
people can give yeah, test it out. Uh, people can give like tips and things like that on you. So similar kind of structure
out.
with
Yeah.
Holo. Cool.
Yeah.
So now, what would be the point of a teacher just like hopping onto live stream for potentially, like in the beginning, it may not generate revenue, right? So you're building a brand, are you, in a sense, with Holo
Yeah.
to sort of get yourself known and
Mhm.
build up a following and things like that?
Yep. So doing the live streams is very optional. A teacher
Mhm.
does not have to do the live streams. Those are just a way to rub shoulders with the students, to kind of show your brand. Like you're saying, it's
Yeah.
an opportunity to um, show them your skills. And then also, like I said, then you can direct them to your classes. You can say, "Oh, you guys, here's the link to my class." You can put it in the chat. And so there's
Yeah.
always a chat going, just like it is here in this YouTube live. We've got that going. And then if they pay to just hop on, let's say that they're like, "Oh man, I've got time right now. I want to join this conversation. I really like what the teacher's talking about." They pay, and then you get that little, bit of income.
It's not like, have you heard of Clubhouse?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, so it kind of sounds like that's more professional, like networking and things, as
Mhm,
far as I know. But it's, you can go in and join conversations, and
mhm.
you can be pulled up on stage to talk or give
Yep.
opinions and things like that.
Yeah.
So cool. Okay, so Now, so it's kind of for those that are really nervous about like live streaming or being on video. I mean, I think this is a really safe way of doing it, where you can kind of just slowly get
Yeah.
comfortable with being on camera and learn so many skills
Oh, yeah.
to be able to. I mean, to go on and just start talking. You're going to do some preparation to sort of plan what your content's going to be. Maybe you're going to give a mini lessons on
Mhm.
something. But I just think that the skills that you learn, the skills that I've learned from doing these are just incredible and are so transferable to so many things. So,
Yeah,
if you're an online teacher that's all you've ever done is work for a company, just one-on-one classes with a pre-made curriculum, then this is it's different for sure, and it's a little bit out of our comfort zone. But I think it can really help you to grow as an online teacher
for sure.
quickly.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know it was definitely skills that I was like, "Ooh, okay, managing the chat." Like, you really have to come and be authentic, just real, because you're gonna mess up. Like, you're going to get on and you're gonna be like, "That wasn't
yeah,
very smooth," or, "Oh, maybe that was really bad English, and I'm a native speaker, I should probably fix my own grammar," right? Like, there's gonna be some mistakes that you're going to incur, but it's okay. You have to learn to just roll with it, and you do learn so many new skills. And the students love it. They
yeah.
actually love it when they're like, "Okay, like, she's just real, like, this is just fun." So,
Yeah, and you can really be yourself and let your personality come through.
yep.
Okay, this is my King. You did not have to do this. This is like my first super sticker. I don't know what that means, PLN20, but thank
A
you.
super
Thank you,
sticker.
Kinga. We need to ring a bell.
Yeah, seriously. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah. I don't even know what it
You
is
didn't
either.
have to do that.
We might have
I
to have
don't think
super stickers on Holo. I don't know.
I don't know, but now I'm going to go digging and figure out what PLN20 is. Kinga, you did not have to do that. Thank you so much. Is a US passport required?
Nope. Nope.
No. Okay. So you're hiring kind of native speakers
Yep.
from around the world?
Yep. So we do have a list. If you look at our application, we are taking people from South Africa, um, Australia. We're taking people from, anyone that's their native language is English. We're willing to have you come, and we have had some people that come to our platform that are from different countries, and their English is really amazing. And so we do have some student teachers that actually were kind of like students first, and then they've now become teachers because they're
Really
so
cool.
good
Yeah.
at teaching it. And so we are open to some teachers, that may not be from the list that we have on our application there, but if
Mhm.
you're from that location, you're good. So,
Okay. So let's by the way, if you're watching, we are going to actually jump in and show you the
mhm,
behind the scenes of, because it really helps us actually see it in action. We'll try to see some teachers who are actually teaching. But I've invited, thanks to Jamie for organizing it, a couple of teachers, Chad and Sean, to come on and share a little bit about their experiences. Because I know you do teach as well, right, Jamie?
I do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it'll be great to get some other experiences and just some tips, I think, for teachers that are kind of thinking about it. Maybe you've heard of it and it's been in the back of your mind to give it a shot. So let's welcome Chad and Sean. Thanks so much, guys, for coming on and being patient with the time mix up here. So thanks so much for being here. Sean, can you introduce yourself and what do you do on Holo?
All right. So yeah, my name is Sean, and I've just been a teacher on Halo probably for a year and a half. So it's been a
Mhm.
Okay.
while. So I've seen, um, the platform kind of evolve step by step since it was definitely a startup when I started. And this has been
Yeah.
really cool and, informative for me as well, just to see how a company grows.
Yeah.
And what attracted to me, why Halo was attractive to me in the beginning is, pandemic hit and my physical school closed in Boston. So I had
Okay.
to move to Pittsburgh. And like many teachers around the world, we had to find our online presence in a
Yeah.
way. And I think initially it didn't last long, but I tried doing my own website, doing everything that was necessary to kind of build your own website, sign up for a video platform.
Yeah.
And then the biggest part is trying to get people online to trust you. And those were
Yes.
all challenges that, it perhaps I could have done. But when I looked at Holo's model, I was like, well, they're just going to try to make this way easier. They don't overcharge teachers at all. You know, the cut or whatever is very fair. It's almost like the price of a Zoom subscription itself that you'd be paying. And hosting on a website. So it just really gave me all the tools that I needed. And then also just being able to live stream to many people really gave me good feedback about what worked. It almost accelerated my abilities online and my identity online by just like what Jamie was saying, you know, failing a lot, going back, looking at it, and then adjusting. So, you know, I still have a lot to improve on, I think, you know, especially in terms of aesthetics, making things really pop. But I'm learning little by little. And Holo's kind of given me all the tools I need to succeed.
Cool. Thank you for sharing that. Because I think what you said about, you know, that getting that feedback from the students that are watching you. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that because that's so valuable. And like, just, you know, when you're kind of putting yourself out there and taking a risk and stepping out of your comfort zone and like getting that validation, you really start to build up your confidence. And, you know, maybe one day you will go out on your own, and this has given you a lot of tools to be able to do that, which is super cool.
Yeah. And it's, you know, sometimes it's in the chat, maybe they're like boring. I haven't gotten too many of those. Those are pretty direct, but, or something like that. But what you really see is maybe when your view count starts going down, when you start doing one activity, it just starts dropping. You're like, ooh, okay. You don't want to worry about that too much because maybe there's other things involved. But if
my view count is going up now that you started talking. So
trust me, there's a limit on that. It might not continue. So I'll let Chad, take over and tell his story.
Yeah, Chad, please tell us where are you in the world and what are you doing on Holo?
For sure. So my background is a little bit different. I kind of come from a background of content creation, and I work directly for Holo now.
Okay.
But I've also had kind of a similar opportunity, Sean. I've been aware of Holo for a long time. Personally, know the founder, and I've known him since he started it, and so I've seen Holo evolve. Sean touched on some of the things that I really like about Holo. I think you get a lot of great feedback. You know, I've learned Korean before, so I have experienced language learning and experienced English teaching as well from when I lived in Korea. And you do, like, it's a different feel than just one-on-one teaching, and I actually like it a lot better. Personally, I just think that there's something about having a community and having just kind of a group of people that you talk with. They can hop on, they can give feedback. It feels so much more natural to me than a one-on-one conversation, which for me actually sometimes becomes a little bit awkward because you're trying to be like, all right, maybe this student isn't super great at English, or maybe they're not super talkative at first. But when you have a kind of a classroom type situation where people can hop on, there's comments coming in, it's
vibrant. A rush, right? I mean, I get it when I do these every week, you know.
Oh, for sure.
Like 20 people watching, but I still like it's like you're on. Anything can happen live, right? Like things can go wrong, and you have to learn and think quickly on your feet and kind of go with the flow and, you know, go with the comments. And I can imagine with a very engaged like number of students kind of really there to learn and soak up everything you've got. It's pretty exhilarating.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think just, you know, just having that community and, you know, my background is YouTube. So I do see the similarities with, you know, building a community, and I see the benefits of just people getting to know you on a platform. And so, you know, I've had a couple classes that I've taught on Holo, and I'm surprised about like, okay, where are these people coming from? They're just joining my class. They're subscribing to my class. I'm getting, you know, thousands of followers on Holo. And it's like, so there's a really great student community, and very positive, very bright. And I think it's conducive to new teachers as well, because that's more or less what I am. I'm kind of a new teacher, and it's not what I do full time, more of content creation. But for me, I feel like I view it from maybe a different perspective, and the perspective of more of a new teacher. And I've been really happy with it.
Very cool. So is it true that Holo has 1 million teachers or students?
Students?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Which,
yeah, not
which,
teachers, students.
yeah. Yeah.
I knew that. So, and they're from all over the world, right? So it's not like you're having to sort of market yourself to find the students. You're sort of marketing yourself to attract the students that want to take your classes, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's been my experience. It's funny, I'll log into Holo and I'm like, okay, like I have way more followers on Holo than I have on, any of my personal social media accounts. I got
Right.
like the 25,000 or something. And so that's what's really cool. And that's where I personally see Holo going in the future. It's almost just like this marketplace where, our student growth is incredible. That's the side that I work on
Okay.
at Holo. And so I see the numbers coming in every day. And there is a lot of new students every day. There's going to be I feel like it's going to be a massive potential for teachers to grow their own followings on Holo. And then, kind of like what Sean
Yeah.
and Tim were talking about, you take that following with you wherever you go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Very, very true. Um, Sean, what would be your, like, for a teacher that might be watching that's thinking about it, but it's sort of scary to like do this kind of live streaming thing. What would be like your best tip for a new teacher? Like, what did you have to kind of work through or get over in order to get on the platform and start?
I mean, kind of like Jamie said in the beginning, just overcoming fear of screwing up in front of many people.
Yeah.
Okay. Once I've done that already so many times in my previous life in real classrooms, it wasn't so bad. I've embarrassed.
Yeah.
One of my tips is I embarrass myself so much so my students don't feel embarrassed.
Yes. Yeah.
So I was already trained on that, so that was maybe easier for me than maybe some others it might be.
Yeah.
But I would say to really motivate teachers to get on and make the most of it is I think the future of English teaching is really about niches. You're someone who provides something that another person can't. All right.
Yes.
And I think Holo really allows you to discover and develop that niche because you have so many people, and not everybody's going to like you. They might follow you, but they might not subscribe to you. And that's the thing. You start narrowing down what is your fit, especially as more teachers come. And for me, I see the supply of teachers not anywhere close to the demand of English. So that shouldn't intimidate teachers either.
Yeah. And Holo is hiring, right? So Holo is looking for teachers to apply. And is it holo.tv/teachers, Jamie?
Yep. They can also just go to, I think, /application. Oh, that's great.
Is that the one?
Yep.
Okay, great. So it's also linked in the description of the video, I believe. If it's not, then it will be right after this live. But if you are interested in checking it out, head on over to their website, holo.tv/teachers. Very cool. So yeah, what do you guys teach on the platform?
Yeah, I'll go first. I personally, actually, I talk about YouTube. That's a big thing I talk about, which I did not think people.
What's your YouTube channel? I'm sorry I didn't have that beforehand. I'll put it.
Yeah, so so my main YouTube channel is based. It's kind of targeted towards a Korean audience. It's called Hi Chat. I do a lot of stuff with Korean culture, movies, things like that. But for Holo, I actually run the Holo YouTube account and the Holo TikTok. So that's all directed towards students, just kind of English tips, things that they might struggle with. But actually on Holo as a teacher, I've taught about YouTube and building up a YouTube audience. I think YouTube's pretty international. There's a lot of people who are interested in it. And so kind of like Sean mentioned, we're looking for, things that we have to offer. And for me, that's what I felt like I had to offer. And I think that's what makes it fun. I'm talking about stuff that I really care about and that I'm excited about.
And the students are learning English through it, right? That's
exactly.
the whole point.
Yeah.
Samara is asking, out of curiosity, is the curriculum already provided? So this is like maybe a shift in the way a lot of teachers are thinking about company, that like I'm teaching a curriculum or I've got to bring my curriculum. Can you guys speak to that about how Holo is different?
Yep. Holo is very unique in the way that teachers are able to, like Sean has mentioned, and even Chad with the brand, like you're building your own brand. You provide your own content. We do have a library of some help you get started content, like some curriculum that you can use, and you can even modify it and you can add to it and change it and make it fit what you want to teach. But you'll find, even for me, I've done just a class called Social Hour. And
Okay.
that class has been really popular because students come and I just try to help them engage with each other and make friendships on Holo. We play games. We do word puzzles. I mean, we play this or that. I mean, it's very social, and you'll find that conversation is key. Like I would say students love that we come to Holo to just have adult conversation. And as a teacher, then you catch those little mistakes and you say, oh, wait, let me hear you say that one more time. Or you might practice reading. There's just so much that we can bring to the platform as teachers when we can create our own content. We aren't telling you what to teach. We're telling you, come and be creative, and you'll
Yes.
find the students that like what you're teaching.
Cool. Very, very cool. So yeah, it's not really about I've got to get this curriculum and bring it on here and teach it, right? In sort of this in a box type of thing. Like you can come on and showcase your cooking or talk about, and that could be your stick. That could be your thing that, students come to cook with you or learn about foods. Am I right with that?
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
a lot of times students come and they're really interested in like business English. They're
Mhm.
really interested in like IELTS exams, and they're looking to just either get into a school or improve their employment situation. And again, some of them, it's just merely very social. They're just like,
Yeah.
I want to travel the world, and English is that language that I need to know to get around. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I
very
love it. Okay. Can we just jump in and have a look? Let's bring it up here
sure. Uh-huh.
and have a look.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to bring all of us down. Okay. So Jamie, walk us through um, this here.
Okay, so this is our home screen. You can see, I'll refresh actually, because this is Sean. Sean's not teaching right now, but this is
Okay.
what it would look like. Sean was teaching this class earlier today. And look, dogs and personal landmarks. I would love to have gone to that class. I have a dog. Actually, we have two, and I'm a dog person. So but you'll have to tell us about that one, Sean.
Okay, so just stop for a second. I want to just highlight for those watching that, like, look at the topics here. It's not like you don't have to bring this like structured, really rigorous lesson that you've spent hours preparing. I mean, it can be really authentic, showcasing your life, interests, passions. So start making a list if you're, thinking about this. Like, what do I bring to the table? What am I passionate about to share with others?
And
So much potential. So
yeah,
cool.
and you can definitely filter, like, so if students are wanting to find certain topics, they can filter. And as you go live, like we have teacher April here, she's live. This is not a class. This was just merely her coming on and just meeting the students and having a conversation. Where like Sean's class here was an actual class that he has subscribers that come. And it was a private class. So some of these live classes can be open to the public, where
Okay.
other students can just come and watch, and they can literally subscribe right in the middle of the class.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And
So
that means that they're paying.
Yep. They pay right then and there, and they can join in on the conversation. And then you have them for the next 4 weeks. So,
Okay.
yep.
Can we
So
watch one?
sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, could we watch one or like see what it?
Yep. Let me just refresh.
Cool.
This is
Okay.
obviously. Let me just see who we've got going here. So April's still going. She's got now 83 people watching. So let's go see
All
her.
right. Let's make it 80. Let's make it.
Okay, well, I'm only
100.
one country. My country is the United States
Can
of
we all
America.
mute?
But all of the states in our country, yes, typically do celebrate Christmas. Unless someone if someone in the United States is a specific religion that doesn't celebrate Christmas, then they might not. But in general, Americans do celebrate Christmas. Ismail, do you know what channel of this teacher in YouTube? I
Okay,
do
we
have a
paused her.
YouTube channel, but there's hardly anything there to be.
Okay. Yeah. There's a little bit of looping, so I was trying to figure out how am I going to minimize that. But yeah, if we all mute. So, yeah, she's just kind of chatting, right? She's just hanging out with the students and talking, and I mean, really low key. Is there anyone doing an actual lesson? Can you see? You're muted.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I do have a teacher that will be teaching. If you go on our app, you can actually see the upcoming classes. So at 9 a.m., I'll have a teacher that will be teaching a live class, but she's just merely
Okay.
chatting. And you could also see, and while she was there, she had a tip come in. So
Oh, okay.
yep, while she was just there, and then she had a student hopped on as well, and that student paid to hop on and talk with her.
Yeah.
So that's kind of fun. That's why teachers like to also go live, and they'll just have that opportunity to possibly get tips or have someone hop on, and then they can lead the students to their classes. And generally, those students that do want to hop on with you are more likely to subscribe to your live classes. So
Right. Okay.
yeah,
There's so much that I love about it, like the branding and the building an audience, and
Mhm.
it's done in a way where, I mean, the students are already there, so
yeah,
it's kind of not like you're really starting like necessarily from scratch. I mean, you are with your followers, and you'll have lower numbers, I'm sure, to begin with, but it just grows as you
yeah.
show up consistently and add value. And yeah,
Yep. Consistency
cool.
is very key, I think, as you get started, and not being afraid to do those live streams and to rub shoulders. And maybe it's not going to always, pay you right away, but it will lead to those subscriptions. It will lead to those one-on-ones. So
Hey,
yeah.
Evelyn would be, she's an online
Oh,
teacher friend that
yeah,
I
I do
know.
know. I know
She'd be
Evelyn Joy.
great at this, actually. And
Yeah.
so would Kinga. I could just see, a lot of teachers really absorbing this and doing well. So again, if you're interested, it's holo.tv/teachers. And I will also put, I don't have it there now, but I'll put Chad's YouTube channel in the description as well, if you want to check out what he's doing with Korean culture. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly, for sure.
Okay.
And yeah, you can go ahead and I think Jamie posted in our personal chat here the link to the Holo YouTube channel, which is a great one to look at too.
Oh, okay, great. I will do that. I forgot to link that one earlier. So, folks, if you're watching live and you've got any questions, now is the time to ask while we're all here. Jamie, who's a teacher manager, and we've got Sean and Chad also on the platform. So we've got a question here. So do the students just chat, message, or are they on screen? Yeah, could you clarify that? Because that was confusing to me, any one
Sure.
of you.
Yeah. Chad, do you want to explain that?
Yeah, so there's basically the option for both. So in what we just watched, it didn't look like anybody was on screen. We call it hop-ons. So typically when I've taught classes, we'll usually have anywhere from 2 to 5 students-ish who have hopped on and we're having a conversation together. We also have students who are in the chat, so they're leaving comments. So it's kind of a variety. It kind of depends. Personally, I really enjoy it when I have around 2 to 3 students. I feel like that's
Okay.
kind of a good point for me. And then, they can hop on and hop off during it. So you can bring new students into the conversation. So it's very cool. There's basically a lot of different possibilities with it.
Okay, I've got a question now, maybe a hard one to answer. Can a teacher do this full time, or do you see most teachers doing it part time? And how long would it take a teacher to start to build up some income? I think that's what a lot of teachers think about when they're like getting into new things. Like, how much am I going to get paid? And I know that's not an answer that you can really answer with Holo, but any thoughts on that, Sean, Chad, Jamie?
Well, we do have some teachers that do it a lot more regularly. I wouldn't say we have anyone that's necessarily just full time. We do have teacher Ahmed, who he has told us that this is going to be his baby and this is all he's going to do. So I'd like to actually sit down and talk with him and see how that's going.
But
But
just to interrupt you, I think that's great. I mean, if anything you do in life is what you make it, right? You put in the effort, the work in the beginning, and hey, the sky's the limit. Maybe it could be. But I think a lot of online teachers are diversified. They've got, their different pots going on with different things and different income streams, and maybe working with different companies. And they could see Holo as maybe like a part-time thing. Would you say that's normally what most teachers view it as?
I
What
think
about
so.
you, Sean? Is that how you use it?
At the moment, it's part-time. But I would say, Holo is very convenient if you're, living abroad, for example.
Yeah.
At the moment, I'm in the United States, and it's quite expensive to live here. And as Holo grows and gets a bigger audience, as Chad says, I don't know, hundreds, thousands of students are coming every week, new ones. And as it enters new markets, I think it has the potential to be maybe a full-time pay. So I've loved this opportunity to experiment and create my own brand at the moment, create a following at the moment in a part-time capacity.
And I don't know if I asked you, but what do you teach on there? What do you talk about?
Yeah, so I have a degree in linguistics. And I've done a lot of exam preparation. I used to work at Kaplan up in Harvard Square as well, getting students ready for universities.
Okay.
So, I started really specializing kind of in some exams. But I've currently found it more beneficial to integrate the structure of exam questions into the student's everyday life. So I'm cool. Really, for me at the moment, I'm focusing very much on who my students are, what their interests are, and then taking my knowledge of exam questions and kind of trying to connect the two, which has been a challenge. But, I like doing it, right now in a part-time capacity, because it allows me to really find myself as, who my future teacher will be. But if I were living, for example, I lived many years in South America, I probably could work full-time if I wanted to on Holo.
And I'm in Thailand, and similarly, cost of living is really low, and you depending on where you are in the world, you can probably teach enough that you could survive on it. But I think I always tell teachers to be diversified and don't put all your eggs in one basket, especially with something new. Evelyn says, I'm currently not diversified, but I should. Currently just an out-school teacher. We lost VIP kids, so I'm currently doing one company plus homeschooling my kids. Yeah, Evelyn's a wonderful teacher and definitely has her hands full. But yeah, this could be something. I mean, Evelyn does lots of YouTube lives as well. And so this could be something that you kind of just, check out and try and have fun with in the beginning. Hello, Arminda from South Africa. So South African teachers can apply. I have a lot that follow me that are always looking for opportunities. So I'm really happy to share Holo with my South African friends. Are there any opportunities to teach children? Good question.
We definitely have children come to the platform. I do teach children one-on-one. You start teaching the parents, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Ooh, can you also teach my kid?" And so one-on-ones they're fine. If a child does come to a live class or a live stream or anything, of course, they're advised to be with their parents. So we'll probably just have to do a Holo Kids at some point. But as of right now, we're not marketing to children. It's from 18 and older.
So when you said someone can set up a class, is that like a one-on-one class that you set up within Holo's platform? And
Yep. So we offer those. Yeah. So we have one-on-ones as well. So teachers have options. They can open up their schedule just to be like these live classes where it's like group settings, or they can do one-on-ones, which then it's just like you and one other student. So that's usually where I see the kids the most, is like in those one-on-ones.
Yeah. Interesting. Very cool. Well, I respect your time. Thank you so much, you guys, for hopping on. And I think we kind of gave a good overview and answered some questions and, gave the viewers a little look behind the scenes, because I think it's helpful to sort of see what it looks like. At least it was for me to kind of get it a little bit more and understand it, because it is a little bit unique and different. So, thank you again, Chad, Sean, and Jamie. Anything else that I maybe missed that you're like, I need to say?
The only thing I would add for kids is I know that's something we're actively exploring, is a Holo Kids app. So that's potentially coming down the road.
And I think it's a lot of the people that follow my channel teach children. So not that it's, I think a lot of thought about teaching adults, even I have, but I have never gotten into it. I think it's can be a little intimidating in the beginning. So, but very valuable to do, and you might really find your niche with adults. So give it a try.
I definitely have to say that I think I was really nervous about that at the very beginning, but it's almost like you're just actually finding friends. Like I now have these relationships and these friendships with people from all around the world, and they're like, can you can you just come visit me sometime? I'm like, yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, the Boo Woo family, for being here, and we'll end the show here, guys. Thank you so much for coming on. Have a wonderful day. I'll bring you guys down here and then cue the outro. Thanks, Chad. Thanks, Sean. Thanks,
Thank you.
Jamie.
Bye. Thank you.
And thank you for watching the show. Really appreciate it here. I will get the time correct next week, and I will we'll stick to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So again, thanks for being here, everyone. And if you've got any questions and you didn't get a chance to ask them in the live chat, do use the comment section below, and one of us will try to answer them for you and get back to you. So have a wonderful day, everyone, and happy teaching.